Hi, my name is Terry Austin. I'd like to take a few minutes to show you how to create a new assignment within Mastering using content that you've developed instead of something pre-provided by your publisher. On the course homepage, we're going to first click on the Assignments tab. And once we're in the assignment, you can see some assignments that I've assigned already. We're going to create a brand new assignment. So we're going to the link on the top right, which is Create Assignment, and click that. And we're going to get three choices. Either we can create a new assignment, which is what we're going to do, or you can copy something from another course or something pre-built from the publisher. We want to make something new from scratch that doesn't exist yet, so we're going to click the Continue button. We need to give the assignment we're creating a title. And at this point, if you choose to, you can determine that this is going to be homework or quiz. You can always change this later. For now, I'm going to leave it as homework. There's a box here where you can type notes that's visible only to instructors and other TAs. And now we want to actually select some content. We'll be creating new content. Here you have the choice of adding to this assignment, just like you've probably done before, anything from the publisher, but for the moment we're going to create something brand new. So create new item. What we're going to do today is have the students watch a video from YouTube. I'll show you a little bit of that in a moment. And then we will create some questions. And if you'll notice, our editor, which popped up in here, actually has two distinct areas. There's an upper blue bar that says Entered Introduction, and there's a lower blue bar that says Part A. Well, Part A will ultimately be our first question, and the upper bar actually is the introduction, and I use this as the area where I put media that I want my students to watch. So let's first take a peek at what I'm going to show my students to ask questions about. It's a YouTube video on brain anatomy, and oddly enough, it's taught by cartoon mice.
And now, the parts of the brain, performed by the brain.
Yes. Neocortex, frontal lobe.
Brainstem.
Hippocampus, neural node, right hemisphere. Pons and cortex, visual.
Brainstem.
Sylvian fissure, pineal, left hemisphere.
Well, that's enough to give you an idea what the cartoon is like, and obviously it's not going to be the only thing you use to teach students brain anatomy, but it's a cute little diversion. We want to grab the URL, copy that, and then go back over to our editor. Here's where we're going to begin to create a little bit of magic. First of all, in the top bar, I want to come to its menu and edit this introductory part. We're going to open the editor, and you'll notice that there are 4 items here: title, description, learning goals, and introduction. For title, gross brain anatomy, and then a little bit of description of the event. And then finally, learning goals. This is actually not the same as learning outcomes. That's a different item, and we'll touch on learning outcomes in just a moment. For this, the learning goals would simply be, for this instance, something like learning brain anatomy. And introduction, here's where I'm going to put a link for my students and ask them to watch a video and then ask some questions. So I usually word that something like this. Now, please watch this video and answer a few questions. That doesn't do much because this is not a live link. We need to make it a live link. So I'm going to take the words "this video," select those, and then pop in a link. And if you notice up here in our browser, we have a little chain looking item. That's going to create a link here. I'm going to pop in the link that we copied from our YouTube, and that will open up the YouTube video. Now, a little bit of a warning here. This menu gives you a couple of choices. You can open the link in a new window. That's selected by default. you can open the link in the same window. A little bit of caution here. Some web media, including some YouTube videos, don't play nicely in the same window. So I kind of by default, to play it safe, set this to open in a new window. And we'll insert that, and you can see we've got a live link now in our introduction. So my intro is pretty much completed. We've got a title for it, a little bit of description of what's going on, some learning goals so the students know what to expect, and our introduction to watch the video and answer some questions. I'm going to save this and close it. So this is what we have visible for the students to see whenever this is finally finished. We have a learning goal, learn some brain anatomy, and some instructions to the students. Please watch this video. Our title, Gross Brain Anatomy, is right up here. Let's now create a question, and I'll do that by opening the editor here in this second bar. We're going to edit the part, and in this particular nomenclature, the part is the question. So for part A, or question 1, if you want to call it that, we have a title, and I'm actually probably not going to use the title on that, but I will put in the text, and for me, the text is the question itself. What brain structure was entrusted to Pinky? Again, introduction. I could put something here. I'm going to choose not to. The question type, in this instance, I'm going to use multiple choice single response, but you could also do multiple choice multiple responses, or you could create an essay. Single response is what I want for right now. You can see it's pre-populated the answer area with 3 possible choices that we can put in, and the first one is automatically selected as correct. You can unselect that, or you can select another. For me, I usually leave the first one right. It'll be scrambled when the students see it anyway. So, what brain structure was entrusted to Pinky? The correct answer was brainstem, and it needs to go in this first one because it's marked as correct. So, brainstem. The second one, let's put in a distractor, a wrong answer. And the last one needs another wrong answer. Our question's complete, but I'd actually kind of like to add some wrong answer feedback. You're probably used to wrong answer feedback already if you're using Mastering, and it's nice to guide the students toward the correct answer, or at least it helps understand why the wrong answer is not correct. So we have 2 wrong answers here, and I'd like to add some feedback for both of those. So let's go to Add Feedback. That's right here. And the first of the wrong answers is neocortex, and I'm going to select B, which is currently where that is. And the wrong answer feedback in this case and that helps out with the first wrong answer. The second one also needs some feedback, so let's hover over the arrow for that. We have the opportunity to add more feedback. If they choose answer C, which in this case is medulla oblongata, here's the feedback the students will see. So here is what our question looks like now that we've created that. We have our text of the question, what brain structure was entrusted to Pinky. We've got our 3 answers and radio buttons the students can select. The next thing I want to show you here is how to add a hint. So we'll open up our editor again and add hint. We get a little pop-up box that comes in, and again we're in our editor. I'm going to edit this hint. The hint needs a title, and the title should be slightly suggestive of what the hint might be, what the students might see when they open the hint. It'll help them decide whether they want to take the chance of opening it, because you may well be penalizing them for opening hints. So I put in a hint that is subtle, kind of gives them an idea what they might see, but doesn't really give away exactly what's going on. The hint text is the hint itself. And that really should be enough to guide the students toward the right answer. Obviously this cartoon thing is a silly example, but it's close enough and it works. We have added a hint, click done on this, and now notice our question has not only submit, but a hint, which was not there a few moments ago. Let's add one more question so this assignment's a little bit more rounded out. Come over to the second bar again, we want to edit part, and we actually want to add a part below this, so we'll have question number 2. Part B just appeared. That is our second question. Open the editor. We'll even stick a title in this one. What the heck? The text is going to be, of course, our second question. Again, we could add feedback, but I'm going to choose not to for the sake of brevity on this. We'll save and close this. And now we have a video for the students to watch and a couple of questions here. We could add hints, we could add feedback on this one, but I think we're going to call this one done. And we'll close it. Okay, our new item appears in the list here, but it has not currently been tied to a chapter and a section. So I want to edit the chapter section data. And we'll say that this one is tied to, in this particular case, Chapter 12, the central nervous system. We're learning about the brain after all. And we can even tie it to a specific group of pages in the chapter. In this case, section 12.1, the brain. Save that. And now let's build our assignment, because again we're creating an assignment for students. Go to chapter 12, go to the brain, and we've selected just my items. Of course we could pile in anything else and have a whole list of items available, but this one is going to be our new item. Select this item to be part of an assignment. There's not much organization to do because we only have one item, but you can, here in this area, select this item, change its point value if you like. Since we have 2 questions on here, it's probably not a bad idea to make that worth 2 points. And next we need to specify some outcomes. In this area, what I'd like to do is see if we have any learning outcomes defined that would fit this already. I've created a few. Let's take a look at my list. Identify brain regions and understand their functions. This could be said to fit in that area, so let's select that. Identify cell types and understand functions of individual cells. We really didn't do any of that. Show people how cool learning outcome input can be. It's easy. You know what? Actually, that kind of fits what I'm doing right now. Understand functions handled by major nervous system divisions. Maybe. Understand action potentials. No, that doesn't fit at all. Understand components of reflex. That's not part of this. I think that's all we've got so far. So let's save this, but let's say we want to add one other learning outcome that's not in here already. So add and edit my learning outcomes. Add a new learning outcome. Doesn't make much sense, but it'll work for me. We'll save that and close it. And back here, let's add that one last learning outcome. Teach cool anatomy using mice as tutors. Now, all of those are now tied to our assignment. Let's preview and assign this thing. I'm not going to set a due date because I don't actually want my students to see this, but we could set that here. Let's preview and see what this looks like. Gross brain anatomy, if we open that, we see exactly what we set up. Our students will click on the watch this video link. They can even go full screen.
And now, the parts of the brain, performed by the brain.
Yes. Neocortex, frontal lobe.
Brainstem! Brainstem!
And we don't need to watch anymore, of course. Let's go back over here. The students have watched this while brain structure was entrusted to Pinky. Neocortex, it's the wrong answer, but we'll see. We'll submit it. And the students get some wrong answer feedback. Actually, that was the first item mentioned by the brain. What did Pinky shout several times? Maybe it was brainstem. Submit it, and we get told that is correct. Next one. Submit it. We're correct. Continue, and we have completed the assignment. Thanks for your time.